let's talk about a story that is just so satisfying. It's all about what happens when everyone, and I mean everyone, completely underestimates you. It kicks off with getting yanked into a whole other world, but the ending, oh, the ending is just delicious.
Okay, so imagine this. You're ripped from your normal life, dropped into some fantasy world, and those are the first words you hear. Garbage. How brutal is that? Yeah, our story doesn't start with some grand prophecy. It starts with a cold, hard rejection.
But that's what makes it so good. It begs the question, right? What if that one thing that got you thrown out, that one ability they called trash, was actually the key to a life you could have only dreamed of? Well, let's get into it. So meet Takanashi Ren. She's 30 years old, a caregiver by trade, and her absolute favorite thing to do is go camping and cook whatever she catches. But on one particular trip home, things take a very, very weird turn. It all happens in a flash. One second, she's walking home, happy with her fishing haul. The next, the ground just vanishes beneath her. When she comes to, she's in this huge, fancy hall with all these robed figures staring at her, but there's no welcome party. In fact, before she can even figure out what's going on, poof, she's teleported away and dumped in the middle of a massive, empty field. And the cruelty of it is just staggering. See, there was someone else summoned with her, a beautiful high school girl who gets treated like a princess. They call her the Saint. But when the head guy turns to Ren, his face just sours. He calls her skill trash and has her booted out. No explanation, no second chance. Just gone. And this right here is where our story gets really interesting. Alone, abandoned, and probably pretty ticked off, Rin decides to check out this so-called trash skill that got her kicked to the curb. What could it possibly be? You're not gonna believe the mistake they made. Her skill is called Trailer, and it has one single rule. It can only be used outdoors. And where did they summon her? Inside, in a giant building. They didn't even think to ask her to step outside. They saw one tiny limitation and just wrote her off completely. What a colossal blunder. And oh, you have no idea how big of a blunder it was. The second Rin is outside and uses her skill, a brand new, sparkling camper van materializes out of nowhere. But listen to this, it runs on magic, so infinite fuel. It creates its own endless supply of fresh water. The inside is magically bigger than the outside, it can turn invisible, and best of all, it has a fully stocked state-of-the-art kitchen.
I mean, come on, they didn't give her a trash skill. They handed her the ultimate survival cheat code. A mobile fortress, a 5-star hotel, and a gourmet kitchen all rolled into one. It's not a useless skill, it's god-tier luxury glamping, and they were too dumb to see it.
So what does Rin do with her magical camper? She drives it to a beautiful lake to do the one thing she loves most, fish and cook. And it's right here that she finally meets someone in this strange new land. She stumbles upon this huge, handsome ogre, just passed out cold by the shore. She manages to drag him to safety, and when he finally wakes up, the first thing out of his mouth is, "Hungry as hell." Well, my friend, you just hit the jackpot. Rin immediately gets to work. She just caught this special fish called a milk trout, and she gets a fire going. Just picture it, that perfect crackling sizzle as the fat from the fish starts to render and drip onto the hot coals. She cooks it perfectly over the open flame. The skin gets so crispy and crunchy, seasoned with just a little bit of salt. You know that sound, that perfect crunch. And then, the moment you bite through that crispy skin, the fish inside is so tender and fatty that these sweet, savory juices just explode in your mouth. It's the kind of meal that makes the whole world melt away. The ogre, whose name is Vol, he just goes for it. He inhales that fish, all his suspicion gone in the face of this incredible meal. And just like that, with a simple, cooked fish, Rin has forged her very first bond in this new world. That one meal changes absolutely everything. Because you see, that fish wasn't just a meal, it was an audition. Rin's trash skill is about to turn her from an unwanted exile into the most valuable person Vile has ever met. So Vil lays it all out. He's part of this super strong adventuring party. They fight dragons, they explore dungeons, they're total badasses. But they have one fatal weakness. They are horrible cooks. We're talking burnt to a crisp meat and soup that's basically hot water. After one taste of Rin's cooking, he's literally begging her to join them and, in his words, save them.
And here's the party in question. We've got Vil, the draconic ogre, Arya, an Arachne, Ed, the alchemist, and Sion, the priest. Do you notice a common theme in the defining trait column? Yeah, they are all massive eaters. This isn't just a party of adventurers, it's a party of starving adventurers. And this right here tells the whole story. Combat skill, through the roof. Survival, they know what they're doing. But cooking, it's basically a flat line. They have this massive, gaping hole in their party's abilities, and Rin is the exact puzzle piece they've been missing. So when Rin finally meets the rest of them and cooks a real meal, their reaction is just perfect. They don't just eat it, they are literally crying with joy. For the first time, probably ever, they have a warm, delicious meal after a hard day's work. In that one moment, Rin went from an outcast to their savior.
So think about where we started, with one woman, totally rejected, told she was worthless, and cast aside.
All because of one single skill, completely misunderstood and dismissed as trash by people who were too arrogant to look any deeper. And what do you get when you put them together? A whole new life, one filled with adventure, with found family, and with incredible food. She didn't just find a way to get by, she found a place where her unique talent was the most important thing in the world. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What amazing potential might you be overlooking, in yourself or even in others? If this story hit home for you, do me a favor and share it with someone who loves a great underdog story. And of course, for more stories like this one, make sure you're following. I'll see you in the next one.